With the whole George Floyd situation, would the tables still be the same if he was gay or if he was trans? Would we still have such a huge uproar if this man liked guys fully? And to be honestly, I don't feel like it would be.
Are you ready?
Am I? Do I look presentable?
This is one-on-one with me, of course, with Tré. So, let's get to it. So, who are you?
My name is Tré, but on the birth certificate it says Trevion Isaiah Harris. I'm an artist, a musician, a best friend, a brother, sister.
Oh, your sister. What do you do that you're most passionate about?
Currently.
Oh, it's currently.
Yeah. Currently, because it switches every 23 years. But I'm an artist, mainly right now, is what I'm passionate about.
What art do you do?
Paintings, jackets, you name it, I can do it. It's crazy because these folk really be out here asking for like off the wall stuff, and I just be like, okay, we can get it done.
What's the that's a good attitude to have about it. I mean, what's the craziest thing somebody has asked you to do?
To draw a big black guy with a big naked black guy with big hanging down on somebody's pajamas. So that was like,
how did that go?
It never fell through, but I mean the question was, what was the craziest thing somebody asked? So that's just one of the many things that go on with being an artist or anybody who has their own business trying to start something that, or they're trying to sell something to somebody. You get those people who they want to order, but it never falls through. They say they want something, and then when you try to contact them or hit them up about it, it's nothing. So
let's get into it. So obviously you're a gay male.
Obviously. Yeah.
So take me on the journey of what it was like for you when you came out. What's your coming out story?
So we get into it. It's a long one. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's story is uniquely theirs, and mine is no different. Now, was it a pretty story? No, it wasn't. Okay, hold on. This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing because I don't want to say I was outed or found. Well, I was found out by my parents, basically, both of them actually, from, I don't know if I want to tell everybody this. I don't know if I want everybody to know about me. Well, how I came out, basically. Because it was porn.
What's wrong with that?
I don't want the world to know that.
What's wrong with that? Everybody has gone through that. Everybody has had that phase in their life. Everybody's been caught. Everybody. You're not the first one.
But that is so embarrassing, though, to think. I don't know. Okay, wait, I'm gonna just tell the story. So, my dad took my phone a long time ago. This was probably like in ninth grade, late 8th grade, somewhere around there. And he took my phone and he saw that I was watching, or I had pictures of explicit material on there. And I guess it wasn't what I mean, obviously he didn't like it, or, you know, he didn't approve of it because it wasn't what he was expecting it to be. Because I think every dad has this envision, or every typical heteronormative dad has this idea that their sons are just going to be these masculine straight guys, or, you know, they're going to have these wives and kids and continue the legacy of the name, whatever. But it's not the case for everybody, and it definitely wasn't the case for me. So he was the typical Christian religious dad that didn't approve of me, and I got hit with the Bible verses. I got hit with the you shouldn't be like this, or we're gonna get you fixed, or we're gonna pray for you. I'm gonna take you to church and we're gonna pray for you so we can get it fixed. And yeah, that was a very, I would say traumatizing, but it has made me who I am today. My out self is 10 years old, so I've been out for a minute. 10 going on 11 years. I've been out for a minute. So I mean, now he's come around tremendously. Like, it's honestly shocking how he's came around, and how it's like a full 180 from where he was 10 years ago. But I feel like that's mainly due to the influence of my stepmom, because she was the more understanding, and because her brother is gay. So I guess she had somewhat of an understanding of what it's like to be in the same space, or to know somebody that is gay, and to have a compassion to still love them through that. So that kind of influenced him to do that later on in life. And yeah, that's me.
Do you, or did you, choose to be gay?
No, and I hate the idea that some people have in their minds to think that that's actually a thing. Like, I didn't wake up and be like, oh, gay, I haven't did that, let's do that. Like, that's crazy to think that people really actually out here believe that people really are choosing to be ridiculed, or choosing to be shunned by society, or choosing to be a target at school. Like, honestly, I was fortunate enough to not have been traumatized or bullied throughout school, because there are a lot of LGBTQIA plus people who don't have the same fortune as me. Like, they're scared to go to school because kids are constantly terrorizing them, and some off themselves, some kill themselves because of that. But I was fortunate enough to not have that same mindset, and to not have that same experience in school. But in actuality, school is a safe place for me to express myself even more, because I couldn't do it at the house. So no, I didn't choose to be gay, and that's just crazy to me to think that people actually think that. So yeah.
What do you say to people, or to people who say, well, that's his choice, he chose that, he's gay because he wanted to be gay?
These people are clearly like ignorant as in a lack of knowledge, not as in like an insult. But I feel like the folks who really are the loudest saying those things are the ones who don't really know what it's like to be gay. Because if you knew, you would know that nobody chooses to just like girls or guys, or whatever your preference is. Nobody chooses that, because it's innately already installed on you what your attractions are. Well, at least that's how I feel. So I remember going, as far as a child, I can only remember liking guys. I only liked girls because that's what the norm was, and I wanted to fit in with everybody else. and I didn't want to be an obvious target, but in actuality, I can't help how I acted, which innately made me a target anyway, especially from my brothers and my dad, because I was clearly different from the rest of them. Like, when I was younger, I would scream a lot. Like, whenever my brother would do something to me, or whenever we would be fighting, I would scream like a little girl. And my dad would call me Tracy. Like, back then it was kind of hurtful, because I'm just like you're basically making fun of me whenever I do something that's not manly, or whenever, it's not like I didn't like it back then. Tracy, like, honey, girl, bye. But it was, I just don't believe people can choose or want to choose to be like a minority. That's like asking a black person, did you choose to be black? Or a person back in slavery, did you choose to be a slave? Like, why did you choose to be a slave? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would I choose to be black, or why would I choose to be, I'm not saying black is bad. I love being black, and I love our black people, and black should be celebrated every time there's an occasion to celebrate it. But, why would I want to choose to be the minority? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm a double minority because I'm black and gay, so.
How do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
Okay, so unpopular opinion. Well, first let me say, Black Lives Matter is so important because we are always kicked to the side by the superior race, and Black Lives Matter was a movement that was important to society, because we're in a time now where we can stand up and say how we feel about things and fight, now that we have an actual chance to fight and be heard. But the downside to the Black Lives Matter movement is, this is Black Lives Matter, black, and then little tiny words at the bottom, Black straight lives matter. Nobody notices that, nobody sees that, and is often always overshone, because I could be wrong, but with the whole George Floyd situation, would the tables still be the same if he was gay or if he was trans? Would we still have such a huge uproar if this man liked guys fully, or if he was a trans man or trans woman? Like, would the uproar be just the same magnitude as it was for him? That's my question. And to be honestly, I don't feel like it would be. We see all the times that our black trans sisters and brothers, well, mainly sisters, are being killed and abused and all that, and it's by other black people. So it's like, Black lives matter, but do all Black lives matter? That's the thing. So,
how is your relationship with your dad now?
It's great. I'm not very family oriented.
Do you think you being kind of pushed out in the beginning because of your sexuality made you the way you are right now?
Yes, definitely. I feel like there is some trauma there, to where I wanted so long in high school to get away from my family because I didn't feel comfortable. And on top of that, my parents were very strict. My parents were very military. My best friend used to say I'm Cinderella, because that's how I basically got treated. Like, clean the house and never get to really do much, because it was too much to go through to do anything or go anywhere back in high school. But Now it's pretty great. It's actually kind of weird for me to actually joke and laugh with my dad, which is where we're at now. But I mean, I'm just grateful that he actually did come around and come to his senses about recognizing that I'm still the same son that he had 23 years ago, like been the same, just a little gay. And I'm just glad we're at a space now where I can be myself and be comfortable and still have the same relationship and keep that relationship tight between us. We're not super close, but I have a relationship with him.
Why is it, do you think, that people are, or guys, or even girls, are DL?
I think the DL community exists because they don't have a space that's comfortable enough for them to express who they are. Society makes it where being straight is the norm, and that's the right way to be. So being anything outside of that is abomination. It's an abomination, or it's not right, or you shouldn't be like that. So people suppress, they retract back into their shell, and they put on a mask to society to match, and they conform to people outside because that's the way it is, that's the way you're supposed to be. And you don't want to be ridiculed, you don't want to be a target, so why not conform and mesh to what is right so you don't be an issue to anybody. But it's, in my opinion, looking back, it's stupid to do, because while you're doing that, you're wasting time. You're wasting a lot of good time of being happy, of being yourself, and missing out on people who accept you no matter what you are. You're missing out on that. So, and then with my story, when I finally eventually did come out in 9th grade, everybody was loving. If anything, I gained friends. I gained a ton of friends from just coming out. And luckily I was fortunate enough to be in that situation, because a lot of people don't have that same thing. But I realized that I was missing out the entire time trying to tell people that I'm not gay. So